you'll see that you have experiment 3, experiment 3. Somehow these files are connected together. I'm not quite sure why it presents like that, but it does. I can't say that it's a bug or not, but here, I'm gonna go select on I, and then I'm gonna change this to rotating rod part 1. And I'll just use EDB since that's what I have. And I've already started doing this, so I want to make sure that I don't run into the file name conflicts. So you'll see now that I have rotating rod part 1 EDB, and this is really supposed to be my last name and my first name. So let me make sure. Once I bring this in, yep, it's supposed to be my last name and then my first name. Oh, it's saying it's already taken. So that's part of what I mean. So I'll leave the EDB on there, but I will still put Brass Eric. Okay. So now I'm going to go back into this, and when you share this video with me, I will see all of this information. Rotating rod part 1, EDB, Brass Eric. And so the first thing that we want to do is we want to set our origin and scale. Okay. In fact, the first thing we want to do is we want to set the pixels. So I'm going to go to origin and scale and change my pixels, or and I say pixels, but what my pixel rod is going to measure to 0.3 meters. Okay. So we're going to use the ruler in the background here to set that. But let's go to this particular, these crosshairs. This is our coordinate system. So we're going to define this as 0. If I double tap on it, you'll see that I can really set in on the pivot point. If that pivot point is not, if that origin is not at the same place at the end of the video, then you'll know that something is happening. So now I'm setting my pixel rod, and that's what this thing is, a pixel rod, because you can notice the pixels here as I change it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this down like so. And sometimes it's a little hard to see, so I'll double tap in here, and I'll just try to make it as close as possible. So we really can only get down to like a millimeter if you look at this ruler. It doesn't even look like you can really get to a millimeter because it's kind of blurry there. So we lose some of our resolution here. But any two ways, going from 10, 20, 30, 40, this is 10 centimeters, this is 10 centimeters, and this is 10 centimeters. So that's 30 centimeters. 30 centimeters is 0.3 of a meter. Remember, we want to remain in our meter place, okay? So now that we have that set, make sure that you take a snapshot of your origin and scale. So I'm going to go ahead and take a snapshot of that, and we need to upload that immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Dropbox, and I'm going to select on my plus symbol down here at the bottom and say upload photos. You'll see that the only photo that I have in here right now is this, but if you have more photos, it's probably at the bottom. I'm going to select on next, and I'm going to change my name here. And the name is just going to be called Origin and Scale. So now I just choose upload. So you don't have to stay in it. We'll continue to upload in the background. I'm going to double click and then go back into the experiment. Now I want you to go ahead and go over to points, and under points, we are going to middle center this piece of black tape. This is our first piece of black tape from the origin. What we're going to end up doing is doing this two more times. So we're going to start here, and we're going to do that data set. And then in the next experiment, which is rotating rod part 2, we're going to do this piece of tape. And then in the next experiment, we're going to do rotating rod part 3, and we're going to track the edge. But let's just go ahead and start right here. Okay, so I'm going to track this all the way around. It's going to take me a few minutes. but I am not going to try to make my circle perfect. I'm going to allow these distortions to help. These distortions to be what they are. And I'm going to continue to try to remain in the middle center of this particular piece of tape. Okay, I want to go in a couple of points. That'll be enough. And I just wanted to make one complete circle. If I double tap on the screen, not on the